Hi, I'm Anna. Welcome to my home and kitchen. Today in my kitchen, I'm going to share with you and show you how to make simple, easy, traditional Russian zucchini spread. Traditionally, this spread is usually spread on a bread. Sometimes we have Stolinsky bread or black bread, depending on whatever bread we have in our home. However, for those of you celebrating Passover this week and you upkeep the tradition of not eating bread or leavens, then you can put it on a matzah, which is a flat kind of a bread that's not leavened. Or, for those of you like me who love munching on this as a snack, you actually can use chips. These are the chips that I have set aside for me to munch on once my dish is all ready. These are the tools and the ingredients you will need to make this classical, simple, and easy Russian zucchini spread. Make sure you have a really good solid wood block. If you ever go to Bed Bath & Beyond, Macy's, or Bloomingdale's, those are usually my go-to places whenever I need to buy cooking utensils or anything in my kitchen to cook with. This is the knife that I have. This one is Kevlar. I'm eventually going to replace all of my knives with a better, even more quality, like a Swiss or German style knife. But when my husband and I got married and started our registry, we put this on and people actually bought it for us. So we were like, perfect. So this is the knife that I'm going to be using today. And then also make sure you have a good and quality food processor. My husband and I don't actually have an actual huge food processor. He got me one year as a holiday gift, those Ninja blender and food processor. So this is the one that I have that I'm going to be using today. It has double the blade. It blends it really well. This is why you want to make sure whenever you blend stuff in a processor that you pulse it slowly. This way you don't overmix and overblend, because sometimes, especially this kind of dish, it becomes very like liquidy and watery, and that's something you don't want. So this is what I have. And as I showed you guys, I don't know if I showed you earlier, but these are the chips that I have. These are blue corn. If you ever go to Sprouts or Whole Foods or any of those organic-y, fresh kind of healthy spot places, you can find any kind of blue corn. You can go to Ralph's, Vaughn's. We have that in our area. This one is organic. There's no salt. All it is made out of blue corn. No wheat or bread or nothing leavened. So I'm going to enjoy this as a snack. So this is what I have prepared. I'm going to set it aside. Now, I've already pre-cut my tomatoes. I have a little piece saved that I'm going to show you how you guys can actually cut it at home so you know about what size you need to do. So these ones are 4 small tomatoes. I didn't use Harlem or the Roma tomatoes, which you can use those by the way as well. I used the Kalmata, are organic. They're a bit greenish red. And the reason why your spread will probably be more orange than greenish is because of the tomatoes that you use. Not so much if you're using eggplant or zucchini. By the way, a little trick to know. If you're making this dish with an eggplant, it will be a little bit more green. If you want it to be a little bit more orange, then I recommend you using the zucchini. Now, my grandma buys, I think, the yellow type zucchini. Not yellow, it's some kind of a whitish type color or something like that. So, the next one that you'll need is a really good, well-washed and cut zucchini, because this is what the dish is made out of. This is the main ingredient in your dish. Now, I've cut these in cubes. I have a little piece saved, so I'll definitely show you guys how to cut. So I'm going to set this aside. And you'll need onions. Now, I've pre-chopped my onions. This is just fine little chopped little squares. And the reason I did this is because anytime you're cooking and you're vlogging about what you're making, I don't want to cry, have watery eyes. In order to prevent that, I ran under it cold and warm water. Then I quickly chopped it. Now, Definitely watch Gordon Ramsay. He gave you guys the best advice how to chop things. This is where I learned all of my chopping skills. I'll show you guys how to cut a tomato, how I cut my zucchini. And the reason why I saved these little pieces to show you guys, because this way you guys get an idea of how it should look when you're chopping. So what I did was, out of a whole zucchini, I just cut it. So you have this little piece. So I'm just going to go like this, right there. See? I cut it like that. So it's like this. You cut it like this. It splits. And then I'm going to cut it again, like that. So it's going to look 2 pieces. And then I'm going to go like this. And then this is about the size of the zucchini that you want. The reason why I have it more finely or smaller pieces is because whenever you're making the spread and not the actual like eggplant salad as a side dish, this is going to get blended. So whenever you have smaller pieces, it blends it much easier. But you don't want to cut it too small to where it gets all liquefied and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. Oh, also make sure you have a really good quality olive oil. Mine is cold pressed. I bought it at Sprouts. I preheated. And what I did was I put it on high. This way when it sizzles, the oil kind of gets it going. Then I lowered it to medium to low heat because you want this to cook up, but you don't want to steam it or completely like fried. You ever had like really greasy fried food? That is not what we're making. We're actually making a dish that you're going to be blending it. So we are cooking it, we're just not frying it the way you make like fried potatoes or, you know, fried, what do you call it, catfish with breaded stuff. Nothing like that. So then, as you can see here, I have a pre-washed tomato. A lot of people don't know, and I'll show you this. Okay, let me just cut this. There you go. Alright, so they think this part, oh, you see this, I'm just going to toss it. No. So this is what I do. I cut around it, just like that. Okay? And then you have a lot more that you could add into your tomatoes. Now, this is something also to be advisory. A lot of tomatoes, what do they have in there? You have seeds and you have the pulp, right? So when I cut it, I make sure I don't cut it with the pulp side down. I cut it so the pulp side is up. This way, you guys can get a really nice cut and you don't have to worry about it. Now, some of you guys might be using one of those spoons or whatever. I eyeball it, I use my hands. Whenever I watch a chef or an experienced YouTuber making cooking videos, I notice that everything's set in like these little like bowls. They have little containers, you know, where they put stuff in, you know, all of their ingredients that are going to be cooking. Usually when I cook at home, I don't do that. I just cut things up, put it in a pan and things like that. Now, here's something to remember. Usually when I make this as a salad side dish, I would usually put the eggplant first. However, this time, because I'm blending it and mixing it in, I want the other 2 ingredients to cook up a little bit more. So I'm putting in the pan tomatoes. Look at that. Ooh, onions in there. Okay. I'm going to let that cook up. And the last thing I'm going to add on top is this. Now that I've added my zucchini, gave it a couple stirs, now we're going to add the seasoning. The seasoning all depends on what kind of a flavoring you want to add. Usually it is made with salt and pepper. However, my mom got me and my grandma hooked on the seasoning called Santa Maria. You can find them at Bristol Farms, you sell them at Sprouts, Whole Foods, that's where I usually find them. You will not find them in traditional stores like Ralph's, Vons, Kroger's, whatever local supermarket you have in your area. But if you have places that are some places may not have Whole Foods or Sprouts, so they'll have something very similar. It's sort of like a kind of a health, well-being kind of a, you know, organic store that sells a lot of, you know, healthy and nutritional products. Ralph's and Vons in our area has been carrying them as well. But usually I find these at my Bristol Farms, Sprouts, or Whole Foods. We don't have Bristol Farms in our area. We have Sprouts the closest to my house, so this is where I go. Also at Sprouts, I get their like garlic. They're granulese garlic. This one has two sides. This one's kind of the bigger opening, and then this one's are little like holes. So I eyeball it usually, and I just give it a sprinkle. Okay. My husband likes a lot of seasoning and flavoring. So this is something that I usually have to add a little bit more. In this case, because we're using zucchini, it also absorbs it as well. So it depends on what you're cooking with. So be careful when you cook it with the eggplant, or like here in my, vlog video that I'm vlogging. I'm cooking this with zucchini, so they're definitely going to absorb it. The next part is adding garlic. Now, you can put as much or as little garlic as you want. If you have a family member in your family that's not into garlic, my dad can't stand garlic, so we usually don't put too much. But since my husband and I, we love garlic, I will just lather it on. Yay. I try to be as garlicky, as tasty as possible. Growing up in a Russian household, this dish was commonly made at parties, holidays. Sometimes we had it as a salad, sometimes it was made as a spread. This dish is probably going to turn out to be two cookings in one, and I'll tell you why. Because this one, you can easily make it as an eggplant salad side dish. If you're going to make it into an eggplant side salad dish, you'll prepare it the same way that I showed you, except the eggplant goes first, then the onions, then the tomatoes and stuff like that. Here, I put the onions and tomatoes first, then the zucchini after, and it goes the same way for the eggplant. The eggplant, you can get either a whole big one or a small one, doesn't matter. If they're really small, you get 2. If they're really big, you use 1. And if you have small tomatoes, you do 4. Half an onion, and I use, by the way, I never told you guys, but I use sweet onion. You can use any onion you want. I personally like to use sweet onion, so this is what I've used. So as you can see, this is all cooking, and I mixed it all up here, seasoned it and everything. Once this is all done, about 15 to 20 minutes, you can actually serve it the way it is as a side salad dish. You could have it with meat. Sometimes I actually cook the lamb and I sprinkle it on top. You can, introduce salmon on top. You can actually make it into a meal as well. But a lot of times, my family, especially my mom and grandma, we serve this as a side snack. So if we have bread out on the table, instead of like cream cheese or butter, this is what we actually have as that, spread. I went and grabbed some orange juice. Now I'm back. Once you've added all of your seasoning, give it a couple of stirs to ensure that the seasoning is evenly spread out throughout the whole dish. It goes the same for if you're making the eggplant spread dish, the same as you're making the zucchini spread side dish that we're making here. No matter what seasoning you add, whether it's a little bit amount or a lot or mediocre or whatever it is that you put to your liking and tasting, you definitely want to make sure that every 5 to 6 minutes you're giving this a good stir. It's a bit hot and warm today, and since I didn't feel like drinking water since I drank a lot this morning, I decided to grab some OJ, orange juice, that's what you guys call it. It's really, really good. I just checked on my eggplant dish once again. Cooking nice and evenly. Once you've actually, the thing is, when I initially cook it, I set it to high so that it starts to sizzle and cook. Once it does that, I'm not going to completely cook it on high. This is your key to turn it down to medium to low. Actually, just now, before coming back to continue my vlogging of what I'm making today, I even lowered it a little bit more to medium low, because I started to see it really brown up. And you don't want it to brown or burn. You want it to really cook thoroughly throughout the whole dish. Once it's done, I'm going to show you guys how to finish it in the food processor. But in the meantime, I wanted to share with you 2 necklaces and new earrings that I am wearing. This necklace you've probably seen in my vlogs a lot lately. So this one is called the Giving Key. Somebody recently who ran into me had asked if I ever liked keys and whatnot. I asked her what it was for, and she said, I recently bought a few keys and I'm handing them out to my friends. This is a client that I used to work for when I had a full load of clients, Back when I was a special ed assistant and my job ended at 2:30. Now that my shifts vary and I work an 8-hour full shift usually almost every day, I knew I couldn't have all of the clients that I had before, so I just kept the 2 that needed the most services. She wanted to officially thank me for all the help that I helped with her and her son. So this is what she gave me, a key that says Inspire. I hope you guys can see. And then, I love anything Hawaiian, and for those of you new around here and don't know, I like anything sterling silver jewelry, David German, Robert Coin's my favorite. I like Levion jewelry, Tiffany, because you see me guys wear a lot of Tiffany's. This one is sterling silver, Aloha. This one is not silver. It's a special kind of, I think, titanium. I'm not sure what metal it is, but it's supposed to be good. It doesn't bother me on my skin because I wear it usually low, and it'll be sitting on my dresses, so it's not touching my skin. I am sensitive and allergic to a lot of metal, so this is why anything that I wear is stainless steel or platinum or sterling silver or gold that's real. I don't wear any fake jewelry. So this is my Hawaii Aloha. I actually found this at a thrift shop. I vlogged about it in one of my other vlogs, so go find that one, check it out. Then this one, when I was a kid, I fell in love with anything like starfish or seashells, so wherever I go, I see little like starfish shells that were, you know, it's not moving, it's already dead, or the little like shells, I collect them. And then my mom made me get rid of them because you can't, you know, have them on a plane and stuff like that. Well, you don't want too many of them, so I just bring like a few seashells or anything like that. But a while back, probably a couple years ago, I bought myself the sterling silver starfish pendant with a necklace, and then I added my sterling silver name on this little like stamped, what do you call it, pendant. They actually take a hammer and they kind of stamp it. I got this at one of those like little like antique kind of outdoorsy artsy markets, and then recently when I was there at TJ Maxx, I finally saw starfish that were very similar to my pendant. Sterling silver, good price, good bargain, so I got it. I love wearing jewelry. It's one of my favorites. So now I'm going to go back and check on my zucchini side spread. See, zucchini side dish, finished cooking in the pan. I tasted it. The seasoning is just right. I set it on the counter to let it cool for 6 minutes. While it was cooling down, I went and got changed and put on a dress because it was starting to get really warm and hot in the house, and outside the weather was really warm. Then I came back and took my already cooked mixture and put it in the refrigerator to let it cool a little bit more. And in the meantime, I'm going to show you guys the next step, which is processing in the food processor. No matter what food processor you have, they're all going to work a little bit different depending on what kind you have. We have the Ninja. This is a bit small, so what you do is you take the mixture. I'm going to go ahead and dump it all in to make sure I spread it all around. If it touches this part, it's okay. I could just move it. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually close it. Okay. So then you got to close it like this. You got to twist it and make sure that the lid goes right into place. Once you're all done, this part right here is where this has to go in. This is already all plugged in and everything. Before I started cooking, I went ahead and plugged it in everything. You press on it and then it all just mixes and processes everything. Give it about 10 to 12 pulses, see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and food process my zucchini spread mixture, and then I'll meet you back in a few and show you the finished product. Family's traditional Russian zucchini spread is all finished. It blended just perfect in my Ninja food processor. I blended it about 10 to 12 pulses. This is the important part before I dig in and enjoy some. This is what I always do. It's something that my mom and my grandma taught me. You take bread or chip, whatever you want, and if it starts to drip, when you move it like that, then you know it's watery and soupy. That's what happened to me on the first try. This is why I learned to not over blend it and just do it by pulses. This way you can get it to exact mixture like this. I have put some in my dish for me to enjoy as a snack, while the rest of it I put in the refrigerator because I'm going to take it with me to work for lunch tomorrow to enjoy it as a snack along with my actual lunch meal. It is so good. The mixture is perfect. Seasoning is just right. I can taste the actual eggplant. I can actually taste the zucchini spread. It is so, so good. I want to eat some more of this. And if you can hear that crunch and the crisp of the blue corn chip, it's perfect. You can enjoy this on bread, on matzah, with chips, crackers, anything you like. You can even put this on cheese and wrap it, and it's a very healthy, easy, traditional Russian recipe you can make in your own home. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video where I shared and showed you how to make my family's traditional Russian zucchini side spread that I blended in my food processor. I'm gonna go and head on out and relax and enjoy some more of my snack. I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Vlogging on out of here.